Ayaneena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipah Prapanna Parijataya Stotra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamritaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavaha Devogha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahate Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartinim Sotirna Khalu Pandavairana Nadi Kaivartaga Keshavaha Parasharya Vachassaroja Mamalam Gitartha Gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Adikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpatairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pratvamshina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divya Istavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Na Vidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Iti Gita Dhyanam. Now we'll go into chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha Atatrayodashaadhyayah Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So we have seen the 6 questions raised by Arjuna and Krishna answering them. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, the field of experience and the experiencer. Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Jneyam, that which is to be known. Jnanam, in this context, the qualification required for knowing the subtle truth. Because this is not knowledge of something. See that? One is knowledge of an object. The knowledge of the object can be known by operating a means of knowledge. That's called Pratyaksha Pramanam. See here. The other is it's called Anumanadi Pramanam, or it is called Paroksha Pramana. Paroksha Pramana means indirect means of knowledge. Like for instance, suppose now things have become, with the coming of internet and all these things, you can show people. But let's say going back a few 30, 40 years, suppose somebody from West wanted to know what or how or what is a laddu. I will have to describe the product. I will have to say it looks like a golf ball, softer, granular, sweet. So there is an indirect means of knowledge, comparison, upama. And then that fellow will have to either come to India or I have to go to the US carrying the laddu with him, and then that paroksha jnanam is validated by pratyaksha. Oh yes, this is how a laddu is. We all remember it. I remember in school how they used to teach us. What is a hibiscus flower? So it will be red. It will have a tongue hanging out. The petals will be like this. And at the end of it, the teacher will say it is available in the Kali temple, or she will show me one. So Paroksha Jnanam validated by pratyaksha jnana. That is how we gain knowledge of this entire Srishti. Now here, Nyayam, that which is to be known, is the knower himself. How can you objectify yourself? And if you are going to objectify yourself, let's answer this question. Are you pratyaksham? Pratyaksham means you have to operate your eyes, ears, and then say, yeah, this is me. So I am not pratyaksham. Are you paroksham? That is, you will say, I must be so and so. Is it paroksham? You are aparoksham, means self-evident. Anytime that you wake up, you know you are. Everything else, the paroksha jnanam, the pratyaksha jnanam is operated by this conscious being who is available now, immediately. So you are aparoksham. Aparoksham means that which pratyaksha cannot know, that which paroksha cannot know. Then how do you know? So you need a separate pramana for that. Pramana means a valid means of knowledge. So the pramana must satisfy two conditions. One, it should be anadigatam. It must have a qualification called anadigatitvam. Anagatim. Anagatitaha. Meaning, this is not available by any other means of knowledge. For example, for seeing forms, the only means of knowledge is eyes. There is no other means of knowledge. So it is a pramana, anadigatam, anagatitvam. It has this qualification of anagatitvam. Some people, you want to satisfy yourself, so go for a most elaborate computerized eye checking system. He will put you through 6.5 hours of test and charge you a huge bill. And the end of it, they will give you some blank gases, put a frame there and say, is this better or is this better? You only have to certify. The machine cannot certify. That's why it's called a pramana. You have, this eye has to certify, yes, I am able to see properly. That's called pramana. You go for an auditory test. They will put something, you'll say, idu bettera, adu bettera. If you hear, raise your hand properly. Only the pramana can say that you can hear sound properly. So, anadigatam. Second thing, halatvam. It must be beneficial to you. When I see is beneficial to me. What I hear is beneficial to me. So, to know myself, what is the pramana? Eyes. Paroksha. So Veda comes and tells you there is yet another form of pramana that is called Veda Shabda Pramanam. Guru Mukhena. The Guru unfolds the knowledge to you using words as available in the Vedas. And to unfold as available in the Vedas, the Guru must be a paramparavit. He must know the tradition of how to unfold. Any word for that matter has a contextual meaning. There is a certain prakriya, there is a method of teaching. So this is a parampara. That's why the Guru becomes extremely important. Not only the Guru becomes important, I must have the appropriate subtlety. I must have that sukshmatvam to understand where it is revealed to me. I should have a mind which is free from preoccupation. For that purpose, jnanam was explained to you. Jnanam means what are the yogyata that I must have so that it is understood. 4 points explained. Now in this chapter, verse number 19 onwards, the teacher is explaining Purusha and Prakriti, meaning you see a Srishti, you see a world around. And this is a very intelligently put together world. It's not something haphazard. It is not haphazard. It is a very intelligently put together world. Because it is intelligently put together, following a certain order. There is a certain order. Because of that order only we are able to say Amavasya, Ekadashi. For July, our new article, around the 15th of July, we will have Dakshinayinam coming. How are you able to do that? Because there is a certain order. You are able to read the patterns. It's an intelligent order. It's put together intelligently. So this being the condition, this Srishti, something which is intelligently put together must have a maker. There must be knowledge, and the knowledge must rest on a conscious being. Therefore, there must be a conscious being, knowledgeable being who has put together this Srishti. And just as any material, last week I showed you, this material is made of cotton. So there is an intelligent cause, somebody who designed it like this, and there is also a material. The intelligent cause is called Nimitta Karanam. The material cause is called Upadana Karanam. Material cause, intelligent cause. They always go together. Now, here, the intelligent cause is away from the material cause. This designer is not coming along with the cloth. Then I have a problem buying any little thing. Along with this cloth, I have to buy the cloth maker also. But in the Srishti, the whole thing is a little different. The intelligent cause and material cause are together. The maker, intelligent, that is Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam are together. Is it possible? How can the maker and the material be together? Vedas give you an example. Yatha urnanabhi srijate grinnate cha. You see a spider, it is the material cause. It is also the intelligent cause. It knows how to spin a web. Okay, the material comes out of itself. So it comes down, it goes back, it swallows it itself. That example. Second example, let's take a dream. You are the intelligent cause. That is the material cause. I am the material. In the same way, this Srishti, Ishvara is the intelligent and material cause of Srishti. This we saw in some of our earlier chapters. Now here we are going to see analysis of Prakriti. I mean, he uses two more terms, intelligent and material cause. Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam. The teacher uses two more terms. He uses Purusha, Prakriti. Two terms he uses. The teacher uses two terms. Prakriti is material cause. The entire Srishti, the visible universe is Prakriti, material cause. How did the material cause come into being? You have Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. These are the five basic elements. These five basic elements were in a subtle form. They combined together and grossified, and the elementals came into being. This is how the Srishti came into being. So the teacher in this verse says, verse number he says, 19. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidya Vidhayanadi Ubhavapi Vikaranscha Gunanscha Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. So the Vikaram that you see is a evolution. Let's take our own body. It was evolved as a spot. When the fetus grew, then can you imagine this came out of my mother's womb? It didn't come in this form. It came in a much smaller, manageable form. Then it evolved into this. So, these five elements have evolved into the Srishti that you and I see. Prakriti. And this is made up of Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti is the material cause. Purusha is the intelligent cause. This is what the teacher wants to highlight here. Okay. Now, in the next verse, the teacher says, Karya Karana Kartritve Hetu Prakriti Ruchyate. Kartritve. In the creation, there are two factors. There is something called Karyam, there is something called Karanam. Product, cause of the product. The product, the cause. Cause, effect. In Kartritve, in the Srishti. Kartritve means in the Srishti. Karya Karana Hetu. The cause and effect. The cause of the cause, okay? The cause of the cause and effect, Hetu here means the cause, is Prakriti, said to be Prakriti. So, five forms came into being, five elemental elements came into being. From these five elements, the whole Srishti evolved. Prakriti Ruchyate. Acha, then he says, these two are very, very crucial lines, okay? It's subtle, little subtle. Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktritve Hetu Ruchyate. Bhoktritve. Okay. So this, we draw a line in the Srishti. The line is Idam, everything that is Srishti. Aham, I. Idam, Srishti. Aham, I. Now, where does this I begin and where does this world end? This is a very, very important analysis. It is only because of this that all the confusion we have. And the confusion is universal. It is not a special confusion. It's a universal confusion. Where does the world end and where do I begin? The world ends with the contours of my body. Okay? Right. Now, the teaching and the teacher and the pramana comes and says, do a little more analysis. Can you objectify your body? Is the body available for objectification? Yes. Height, weight, size, age, color, everything about the body is known to you. So body is object of my knowledge. Who is the knower? Somebody apart from the body. I am the knower of my body, but I am not the body. Okay? Look at our own language. You go to a doctor and what do you say? ना सही है, मैं ठीक नहीं हूं, will you say? Or you say मेरा शरीर ठीक नहीं है. What is your language? In English you say I am not well. But what do you say in Tamil, in Bangla, in Hindi, in Telugu, in Malayalam? That means inbuilt there seems to be an understanding the body is an object of my knowledge. And because it's an object, and because it is, and the teaching comes and says, this also is Prakriti. And because it is Prakriti, and it has been put together intelligently, it is available for treatment. The eyes are properly placed. Doctors know how the eye, because there is a law behind it. He knows how the ears function because there is a law behind it. And there is a knowledge you can study. So this body is object of my knowledge. Is it made up of five elements? Akasha, Vayu, Agni, rub your hands, heated. Apaha, lot of water, minerals. So it is made of Pancha Mahabhutam. Okay? So this body is an object of my knowledge. But why have you taken it to be yourself? Simple example, suppose there's people who wear specs. We ask them what is in front of you. He will describe the whole world. கண்ணுக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன இருக்கு? What आंखों के सामने क्या है? He will describe the whole world. First thing is specs, that is taken to be eyes. The specs are taken to be eyes. In the same way, the body is intimately experiencing the Atma Tattvam. Therefore, the body is included in the I and not in the world. Confusion has started. Because when it comes to the world, you can take up and down a little dent. Yesterday my car had a small dent. We are able to accept. But when I get a dent, I am not able to accept. So, because of Anyonya Adhyasa, meaning this has as though become that. See, if you have gone to steel factories and seen, they're making these forgings and things like that. So they take a piece of iron, throw it into that fire, and it's heated, and then they pound it. Then it comes in the shape of a forged, some steel part. Till it cools down, it will be red in color. So it has taken the properties of the fire, and the fire has taken the property of that forging. So in the same way, this has taken. This is also Prakriti. Now, body is known to you. Physiological functions are known to you. Very well known. I don't feel like eating now. I am feeling flatulent. There is a tightness in my chest. Some people complain. Tightness in my chest. I have suffered from frozen shoulder. Every day new things seems come. A new specialist comes. For right shoulder frozen, left shoulder frozen, two specialists come. Right shoulder frozen is reimbursed by health insurance. Left is not for reimbursed. Because you are a right-hander. Who knows? Okay. So, the physiological functions are known to us. Therefore, physiological function is not me, an object of my knowledge. I am the knower. You have to do this at least a little. Do you know your emotions? Mood off. Very well, we all know. The child says, my 3-year-old granddaughter used to say, I am angry. Mood off now. The child seems to know. So, I am aware of the various vicissitudes that happen. I am happy now, not so happy now. I've got a huge reward, yet I am not happy. I have nothing, yet I am happy. I am feeling jealous. I am feeling kama, krodha. I am feeling a little possessive. All these emotions are known to you. So, emotions are object of your knowledge. And who is the knower? The teacher takes it. The knower is Purusha, and the objects of knowledge are Prakriti. Prakriti is the Hetu for the entire Karya, Karana. Okay, in Srishti, in Kartritve, in Srishti, Prakriti is the Hetu. Let's go further. Your intelligence is known to you, your knowledge is known to you. I am a banker, so I know banking laws very well. I don't know IT. So, knowledge of something, absence of knowledge of something are both known to me. So, the knowledges as it is are objects of my knowledge, and I, the knower, am different. There are certain times at night, let's say from 12 to 4. As you grow older, the period will keep coming down. 12 to 4. I didn't know anything. They said, didn't you know? There was a plane crash. I was sound asleep. So you are aware of your ignorance as well. So there is an entity who is aware of the body, who is aware of the physiological functions, who is aware of the emotions, who is aware of knowledge, who is aware of ignorance. What is the nature of this entity? This entity is called Purusha. And who is this Purusha? You are that Purusha, conscious being. I don't start looking for Purusha elsewhere. There's a nice song, illa? Irukkum idathai vittu illada idam thedi. Purusha is here, you leave the Purusha here and search for it the world over. So the Purusha is right here. Whatever you are able to objectify is Prakriti. So where is this blessed Purusha? The knower is Purusha. And what is the nature of Purusha? All the objects have gunas. You are nirguna. The Purusha does not have any guna. Any guna means no property. Nirguna. Okay. Everything has limitations. Knower is limitless. Everything is finite. Comes and goes. Asatyam. What is the nature of the Purusha? Satya Vastu. In fact, the only Satya Vastu. So what does it tell about you? Aham Satyam. The Purusha that I am is actually Satyam. The Purusha that I am is actually Nirgunam. The Purusha that I am is actually Anantam. This is my nature. And this is not available for objectification. Then how do I know it? You have to know it by living a certain lifestyle which will help you constantly reflect on not just you but also on your experiences. So this thing has property. Okay, this is black in color, it's a pen, it has property. So how do I understand? This has property. I as the knower I am free from the properties of this pen. I don't have this property, it's black in color, I am not black. Okay, it has got a metal clip. I don't have a metal clip. So just as the knower is free from the properties of this pen or whatever you take, do you know your body? An object of your knowledge? The body has properties. I, the knower, are free from the properties. This is how you have to know. The problem is we are not convinced. That's a problem. Well, suppose I started talking like this when I was young. What will my parents say? Tatra putra nirda, don't talk rubbish. Go to school, learn something. So even when you start talking like this, people say, don't talk all this. You start earning something. That's how they have taught me. So therefore, now when the Guru comes and tells you, and the Shastra comes and tells you, you have to think Viparita, different kind of thinking. Naturally, I am not ready for it. And for that readiness only, we were given Jnana Yogyata Prapti. Okay, the teacher says, the teaching comes and says, whatever you are able to objectify, okay, or objects of your knowledge are Prakriti, and you are the knower, are free from all this. Let's go a little further. In the system, this is a, okay, we'll look at another example. Space as such has no limit, it's just open space. When you build a wall and a roof, what happens? The space becomes your house. The enclosed space has become your house. Space as such, but the moment you put a four walls and you register it, has become your house. So consciousness as it is has no limitation whatsoever. But when the consciousness becomes as though an indweller in this BMS, it seems to become a separate entity because of close association with this body, because of close association with the emotions, because of close association with the environment, with the circumstances under which this BMS came into being, and my relationships and roles, this has become as though an enclosed space. And while physical objectification is one, when it comes to objectification of emotions, etc., emotions, pain, etc., it is as though felt by the Purusha himself. Suppose I felt pain here and didn't affect me, there is no problem. For example, somebody else has a pain. Let's take a simple example. There was a air crash a few days ago. Okay? So many people died. There's a lot of pain in their families and things like that. Does the pain touch you? You feel bad. But beyond that, has it affected you? Beyond that. Assuming there is an accident, there was another accident in which somebody broke an arm. And he comes and tells you, I broke my arm. What do you tell him? Well, I got to put some plaster. You will be okay. That means you are able to neighborize, you are able to objectify pain when it comes to others. But when that indweller reflection comes into your system, it is no longer an object. You are now taking it as your pain. उडम्ब वली has become शरीर का दर्द अपना दर्द हो गया है. उडम्ब वली has become your pain. This is what the teacher highlights here, saying Purusha sarva dukkhanam bhoktritve hetu ruchyate. It is as though bhoktritve, for enjoyment of pain and pleasure, the Purusha is as though responsible. While the whole thing is made out of Prakriti, the pain, pleasure, feelings, etc., have gone to the, as though gone to the Purusha. That's what he wants to highlight here. Okay. Then, actually, the Purusha has no property. No property means, like I look at this pen, I am not black, this pen is black. But let's look at what the verse says. Okay. Purushaha, Purusha Prakritisto hi Bhungte Prakriti-chan Gunam Karanam Guna-sangosya Sadasadyo Nijanmasu. Okay. This verse, we should look at it a little carefully. When the Purusha has become associated with the body, and associated with the body so intimately that the gunas which actually belong to the body. When you say guna, what are the guna? You know, there are three gunas: sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. So suppose I am a person who is angry, impatient, and things like that. This person is called a rajo guna person. A lazy fellow is called a tamo guna person. A more enlightened fellow is called a sattva guna person. These are the divisions in the gunas. Now, because of close association of the Purusha with the Prakriti in my system, in my BMS, what has happened is, it is as though the Purusha himself has taken over the gunas. Okay? It is as though my roles have been, the role and the role player is enmeshed into one. We have been rolled into one. So nobody comes and tells, so and so is Atma. This role playing, he brails angrily. It is as though the role and the role player have enmeshed together. And wherever Prakriti changes happen, they are reflected in the BMS system. What are the Prakriti changes? Let's look at the world around. When it comes to people. People born in Caucasian region, fair complexion, blue eyes. People born in African region, different color skin. People born in Asia, different color skin. Our shape, size, everything is different. And how is it associated? It is as though the Purusha himself has assumed those changes. And the changes seem to have taken place because of the guna changes. So we have a very clear understanding. We have to have a clear understanding. See, very often people say, it's an expression, Bhagavan made this srishti. Bhagavan created this world. When he created this world, why did he not make everybody on the more or less average, same complexion, same height, same weight? Why should he make people differently in different parts of the world? Therefore, we have to understand that Ishvara is not some manufacturer who has created. Okay, even when you create, assuming we are creating like that. When you create car for Indian roads, how do you create? When you create cars for, manufacture cars for Western road, how do you create? So you know there are more potholes here. So Indian conditions you create, you manufacture. For Western conditions you manufacture. Does anybody manufacture sweaters in Chennai? So just as even this manufacturing is evolved according to the needs, it is beautifully told that the karma and the prakriti guna determine these complexions. For example, the Caucasian region, the climate and the guna, that it creates a certain set of situation, white skin, blue eyes, it's created there. But all it's created because of the prakriti guna and one's karma also. And in India itself, suppose you have lived in Bombay area, in the Bombay, the away from the coast, you have these hill regions. People living there are called ghatis, people living in the hill region. Hill region are short and sturdy, easy to climb hills. Okay, same thing. When you look at various animals, the deer is provided with slender legs so that it can outrun its prey. And the reproduction of deer is much faster than the reproduction of the predator. So there seems to be an intelligent cause, and the cause is created by karma and the gunas. So this has to give us a deep understanding of our own lives. What is our life? Your karma is responsible. My past karma is responsible for what I am today. You don't have to go to previous life. Start with this life. I am what I am today because of the sum total of what I did in the past. So I did commerce, I did economics, I did law. That was suitable for a bank employee. There is somebody who studied engineering, okay, and he found an employment in engineering. Suppose you go to the railways. So there is an engineering division there. In the engineering division, there is a mechanical division, there is an electrical division. So according to the karma, one found his station. But can it be otherwise also? Yes. There are otherwise also possible. Okay. So there was a person, a qualified medical doctor. Okay, he went and worked in the US. Then finally he resigned and came back to India. He is now repairing cars with his own hand. He says, I am a doctor of cars and not of humans. And then even Mahabharat we have. Dronacharya Brahmana became a warfare expert. So there is also variation according to the karma. According to karma. So one karma determines my life. What else determines my life? Prakriti determines the guna part of my life. My physical features. Okay. The family, the condition, the genes are all determined by the Prakriti aspect, and the karma determines the life aspect. Now, where is the problem here? Why is there so much confusion? The confusion is essentially because let's use the expression, for want of expression, let me use this expression. The indwelling Atma, the conscious being who does not have any property, who does not have any problem whatsoever, has assumed because of anyonya adhyasa, has assumed that the body's problems are my problems. The role's problem are my problems. It's an assumption. And this assumption is come out of what? Come out of the ignorance of the fact that I, as a conscious being, am free from all this. Not only am I ignorant, I've also not been allowed to know this properly. So the entire confusion comes because I have taken the body to be myself. And am I comfortable with that? If I am comfortable, there is no problem. The problem is I am not comfortable. I am not comfortable with the size of my body. I want to be tall. The tall fellow wants to be short. Okay. I am dark. I want to be fair. The fair fellow wants to come and lie down in Goa and become suntanned. Okay, I want blonde hair. That fellow says, what blonde hair? I want dark hair. So whatever is given to me, I am not happy with that. I want a change because essentially I am not this property. I am beyond this property. Therefore, I want to be free from the limitations of the properties. That's my struggle. I want to be free. And I cannot be free at the body level. I have to be free at the knowledge. I have to know that I was never limited in the first place. Okay, a little subtle. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let's take the example of a play. I am playing the role in a movie. I am being given the villain's role. And throughout the first half or two-thirds of the play, I am the winner. The last 30 minutes I get bashed and I go to prison. Okay, then I tell the director, hey, what kind of script is this? Why can't you extend it by 30 more minutes that I also get to marry the heroine? He said, no, this is how the script is. However much I resist, the script cannot be changed. At best, they will say, we'll find some other actor. But the script won't be changed. Okay, let's take one more thing. Suppose we were to write our own script. Let's say we are writing our own story. You want to write a story about yourself as to how you lived. Let's say now I'm 70 years old. So 70 years of life I want to write. Will I fill every event in 70 years totally happy? Without any problem? Even my wife won't read the script. Boring. So how do I fill in? In class 8, I failed. Even though I would have liked to do that. But I recovered. Okay, 30 years ago, when I was in my late 30s, early 40s, I lost my entire capital. I can vividly recapture what happened. 30 years later, I have recovered not only my capital, but 3 times my capital. Would you write it or not? That means, writing my own story, I would like to feed in some data here and there, which is not pleasant, but which gives the story a certain twist, turn, plot. Even Krishna writes his own story like that, right? Imagine Krishna's story. Born and abandoned somewhere. That's why Krishna said to Karna, even you are abandoned, I am abandoned. Look at me, look at you. You are born a prince, they abandoned you in a charioteer's place. I was born a prince, they abandoned me in a cowherd place. At least you were in the war field. They called me a milkman. Even Duryodhana calls me even today a milkman. So, Even while writing our own script, we would write it with all those plots. So what does Vedanta come and say? So all this Prakriti, Purusha, what is it leading to? Is it learn to look at yourself factually. There is a mixture, a body, mind, sense complex. This is your object of your knowledge. This is a mixture of Prakriti and Purusha. The Prakriti is finite, okay, and then it is limited. It has to have its limitations. What is the nature of the Purusha? Purusha is free from all limitations. So if my focus is on Prakriti, if Prakriti becomes I, then what is my thought process? I am short, I am unlucky, I am not so good looking, I am not so rich. Therefore, I want to become taller. I want to become a better version of my Prakriti so that I feel better. And the fellow is also about better. That fellow wants to become an even better version of himself. This is called samsara struggle. The Vedanta teaching comes and tells you, you are actually not Prakriti, you are Purusha. When you are Purusha and the Prakriti is an object of your knowledge, then your preoccupation with the changing of the Prakriti undergoes a big change. You are able to accept Prakriti for what it is, change what is not possible, accommodate, change what is possible, accommodate what is not possible to change. And our teacher, very often, we have a teacher here, Swami Paramarthananda, he will say, when you keep trying a life of change and trying to improve better, your life becomes MBBS. Miserable, boring, burdensome struggle. Whereas when you are able to really live your life objectively, it becomes cheerful, confident, calm living. Because what is an object? See, some of you are going out, your car is not clean. Do you say, I am not clean? You will pay somebody, somebody will clean it. If you are in a hurry, you will say, let me clean it, go to some spot and get somebody to. You are practical insofar as that is concerned. These days, even because of insurance and all, we are all very practical even when it comes to the body. But suppose somebody is stuck with some incurable illness, some problem with relationships. I compare and see somebody better off. So in which case, it creates a certain disturbance in my system. If one is objective to this, objective to the Prakriti Purusha part, okay, the changes don't go away, but I become better equipped to manage the ups and downs in life. Hey, just because I know I am Purusha, the problem is not going to become change. It's going to change. Okay, if I have lost money in the stock market, the money is lost. So I am Purusha, the money is not going to come back. But at least you are objective enough to say, see why you lost money. And because you lost money, you possibly have gained enough knowledge to become an advisor and run your own software advice, stock management advisory services and become rich in the process. Objectivity, inner leisure, the inner leisure required, preoccupation with what has past and future is given up, and one becomes objective to the present. One becomes alive in the present. And when you are alive in the present, your focus is on the Purusha. Even without any achieving anything in life. Have you caught yourself happy? You have achieved nothing in life. Okay? It's a simple scenario. I don't want to use the word you, me. There is a fellow who has got a blood report. Okay? The blood report says he's attacked by a very virulent form of some ailment. He doesn't have much time to live. He's very unhappy. Sad. So as he is walking, he does not have the money to drive home or something. He walks home. So on the wayside, he sees some lady who has given birth to a child. The child is about a year and a half. She is a construction worker somewhere. She is working. And it's lunch break. And they are having a break of what? Rice soaked in water previous night. They are having with one chili, green chili. And this lady is singing to the child in her own Besura language song. And the child is gurgling with joy. Now, this person is having a report which is going to say he's going to die in 3 months. But at that moment, when you see the joy of the child, is your sorrow knocked off? Vedanta comes and says, this is the Purusha who can be independent of the situation, be happy and complete. Learn to abide in this Purusha, then the entire Prakriti becomes manageable. Arjuna's problem was he was preoccupied with Prithvi, Prakriti. I have to kill my Tata, I have to kill my Guru, I have to do this. Is that you are preoccupied with things which have no control, you have no control. Look at the Purusha. Do what is the role is called is role demands of you, and be free from inside. That's a lesson. We will see further in our next session. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय ओम good
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you so much, Baba.